socialising without alcohol, right? Probably the biggest reason. Well, the biggest thing that was putting me off, a bit like why I stayed sober curious instead of sober, was like, my biggest thing, right, was dating, to be honest. I was like, or meeting girls in general. I was like, how am I going to do that if I don't drink and I don't go out? But all I'm going to be able to do is go on dating apps. And even if I do go on the dating apps, how am I going to go on dates if I feel like I usually drink on them? And then, but also like going out, I'm like, what am I going to do instead? Not that, yeah, because pretty much any time I would go out, maybe I would drink, even if it's just one or two. So I was like, what am I going to do without that? How do you stand in a pub if you haven't got a drink in your hand? That was a thought I had. Not sorry, a thought I had before. That was thoughts I had the first few times I was in pubs. Like, because I don't want to be constantly drinking water, but then also I don't want to be holding nothing in my hands. You can't stand like this in a pub. You look like a Jehovah's Witness. Give me some money, please. Excuse me, give me some money. Do you believe in Jesus? I don't even know what Jehovah's Witnesses really do. Witness the Jehovah's. So quite like that's the thing that was putting me off. Feeling a bit awkward in pubs. What do you even do if you don't go to the pub? So, and also all of the thing that was really putting me off was all of the sober videos I was watching with people. They would sit in the fucking house and I'd go, oh yeah, it's pretty hard, but you feel fresh. And I'm like, and they were like, but yeah, you do feel like you want to reach for the wine every night. I'm like, no wonder, mate. If you like, you just told me that you hate your job, then you come back to the house and do absolutely nothing but watch Netflix. I would be scudding 2 bottles of wine pronto in your situation. So that was putting me off as well. So I was like, I'm going to try other things. So I started playing. This is obviously a privilege of living in Australia at the time. I can happily say that I haven't played beach volleyball once since I've came back from Australia and back into Glasgow. But I'd started doing that. There was like a social volleyball thing. I was doing that once or twice a week. I was also still going out. After volleyball, people would have a few drinks. Say when people are having 1 or 2 drinks and you're not, it's sound. That's absolutely fine. I would say my opinion has changed from like at the start. I was like, oh, you can still go out, not drink and all that. See unless you're with at least 2, maybe 3 people that either aren't drinking or hardly drinking, or they can still hold up. Because you get some drunk people that just, they still are kind of normal when they drink. Unless you've got those people there, I have completely changed my mind on going to the pub or events. It's fucking tragic if you're the only one that's sober and not being annoying as fuck. It's really tragic. So even like you can give all the tips in the world, right? But see if someone is sitting next to you asking you why you haven't drank or you're not drinking, and like, I don't think people realise how fucking annoying it is, right? Because I've changed my mind on this, because it didn't happen to me that much, because when I was first going out, I was going out with my flatmates. They all knew I wasn't drinking. They wouldn't annoy me. But then when you meet other people that maybe haven't seen you in a while, or they don't know you, constantly asking you why you're not drinking, you want, fucking, yeah, what are you talking about? I don't think people actually realise how annoying it is. I also had I hadn't even stopped drinking yet, but the new year before, I was out a family thing. You know what family things are like, and my non-related uncle, so not blood uncle, he was we went back to his for a party, or party, 10 people that I'm related to, sitting, bringing in New Year, and he spent maybe an hour straight telling me that I should drink because I was in his house, And I remember just making eye contact with my dad, going, I honestly, like, he knew what my eyes were doing, and he was like, he had to take my uncle away. Like, I don't, I'm not violent, but I was losing the plot. I was like, mate, what? Because I think I turned around to him, I was like, can you just not ask me that again? And my dad was like, come on in here, because he knew I was going to lose the fucking plot if he didn't leave me alone. Um, so like, you can do whatever, you can use whatever tactics you want, but if you are with like 3 or 4 people that are going to keep asking you that, it's it's borderline impossible to have even just a decent night if you're getting fired that question over and over again, because all you spend your night doing is explaining why you're not drinking. And to be honest, I like at the start I was like, yeah, like you can still go out, non-alcoholic beers and that, but I just kind of don't go into those environments, because it's now it's now, say I've been out in those environments 10, 15 times, I've now had 10 of them where you do just get that, and I'm just like, this isn't fun for me at all. But I don't remotely miss it. I also don't remotely. The thing about as well is like what I'd find funny, because I've got a client now who I met in Asia at the same time as I was talking about the other story. He's Irish as well, and he stopped drinking, and he was asking me about it and stuff, and like he would be like, "Oh, don't like why aren't you drinking? Do you not know how to have fun?" And what he said made me piss myself. And he was like, because I was like, it's funny how these people presume that you've never drank before and you don't know how to drink. I'm like, I've fucking spent 10 years. Like, I feel like that's what I said to him. I was like, I feel like I have put the thickest tick in the drinking box there can be. Like, I feel like I've got to buy like a biro pen and just fucking ripped through the paper with that box. And he was like, I was out with like people that haven't seen me in a while or whatever, and I wasn't drinking. They fucking tortured me all night over it. And he turned around to me, he was like, because he lived in Asia for a while, and he was like, lads, I've spilt more drink in Asia than yous have drank, and yous are giving me shit for it. That as if I don't, because I'm not drinking tonight. And I fucking pissed myself at that, because it's like, I know what being drunk feels like,